This portion of the news is brought to you by Inspiration Senior Living, where we provide affordable elegance to Pahrump area seniors. Give us a call at 751-2300 and make an appointment to tour our community.
Women facing infertility often turn to in vitro fertilization, or IVF. Although IVF technology has improved, there is still a widely held belief that if a woman doesn't experience a successful live birth after 3 or 4 IVF cycles, her chances of a successful live birth going forward are very low. A study looked at IVF success rates after repeated treatment cycles, well beyond the 3rd or 4th attempts.
This health tip is brought to you by
Desert View Hospital and Mountain Valley Physicians Group. Don't put your health on hold. We have time for you. Call us to schedule your appointment. 775-751-7100.
Having a healthy baby is the goal of every woman trying to conceive, including those seeking the help of in vitro fertilization, or IVF.
When you first embark on IVF treatment, you should not be put off if you don't have success after the first, the second, the third cycle.
IVF technology has improved over recent years. One treatment cycle includes ovarian stimulation, transfer of a fresh embryo and any subsequent frozen embryos from that same ovarian stimulation.
Once that you've exhausted the stores of frozen embryos, would be then starting another treatment cycle.
Dr. Debbie Lawler from the University of Bristol in England says no one has really looked at the success rate when you define an IVF cycle in that way. She and her co-authors studied almost 160,000 women in the United Kingdom who underwent nearly 260,000 full IVF cycles between 2003 and 2010. They examined live birth rates among these women through 2012.
Women who are under 40 and using their own eggs, within the first cycle the success rate was 33%. It remained over 20%. By their 6th cycle, they'd a cumulative live birth rate of 68%. You continue to increase your chances of success right up to the 9th cycle. You're gaining similar levels of success at around 5 or 6 cycles, which takes around 2 years, to what couples naturally conceiving would reach in about a year.
Dr. Lawler says women between 40 and 42 also increased their success rates right up until the 9th cycle. There was also encouraging news for women who produced no eggs or a very small number during a single ovarian stimulation.
And that, importantly, didn't relate to the success with your next cycle of treatment. When you first embark on IVF treatment, I think you have to think about it as a set of repeated treatments and a longish term intervention.
Catherine Dolph, The JAMA Report.
Thanks so much, Catherine. In women 42 and over, success rates were very low across all cycles, and the study authors did not see increases in live birth rates. Iowa voters will cast their verdicts on the Democratic and Republican presidential fields in the state's caucuses, officially launching the 2016 White House race. Iowans must attend public meetings in schools, gyms, art centers, churches, libraries, restaurants, and even fire stations in 1,681 precincts to vote for a candidate. The process can take several hours. Caucus meetings for Iowa Democrats and Republicans begin at 7 p.m. tonight. Generally, caucus participation has been around 20% of registered voters in each party in recent election cycles. Only registered Democrats or Republicans can take part. No other parties are allowed. The final tabulated results will be declared by the Democratic and Republican parties. It could be all wrapped up around 9 p.m. our time. We caught up with some local veterans at the new VA clinic's groundbreaking that occurred on Friday morning on Lola Lane.
3.
This was really a team effort with all the veterans. We stuck together. We kept on all of the congressional members. We let everybody know, look, this is something we need, we want, we deserve. And they stuck with us. Hollis Harris, bless him, he was right in the middle of it, making sure we had the property. So everything is just right on time right now.
Well, you know, not being just a veteran, but also an employee of the clinic, this has got to be one of the greatest days that we've had here in a long time. This clinic is going to help so many veterans. With the technology that's coming to the clinic, we'll be able to even do more as far as, especially with telehealth, which is like telemedicine. and that's my my profession here at the clinic. And we'll be opening the doors to all kinds of stuff. We have telechaplain, we do hearing aids here at the clinic. We do all kinds of different things as far as telehealth. That way the patient doesn't have to travel to Vegas or San Diego for certain appointments.
And so you really have a firsthand knowledge of what's going on and the differences and what was needed at this place.
I do, yeah. The whole staff basically at the clinic, we were all involved in the process.
So are you satisfied with the size of it, with what's going to be going on here?
Yeah, actually we do have a doctor. She started Monday. And so now we have 3 providers. We have 3 full teams. So each team consists of a doctor, an RN, LPN, and a clerk. So each veteran is assigned to a team, and so they get better care that way. That way they can go directly to their RN or their clerk to get whatever they need done.
Who started this program off?
A gentleman named Bernie Cusimano started it off a long time ago, about 2004, 2005, right in that area. When we first saw the clinic was just too small, even when they opened it up. Yeah. And first we started on the phones because the phones wouldn't work right, and then we said, the heck with it, let's just build a new building.
The Wounded Warrior Project, the charity for wounded veterans, has been placed on Charity Navigator's watch list over accusations of using donor money toward excessive spending on conferences and parties instead of recovery programs. According to the charity's tax form, spending on conferences and meetings increased from $1.7 million in 2010 to $26 million in 2014, which is the same amount the group spends on combat stress recovery. Charity Navigator is a watchdog organization that evaluates charities in the United States. News 46 will return in just a moment.